Well, that's good because, making life easier in the kitchen leads to a much happier holiday. And if you can give us some tips to organize and to stay centered and, how to have some fun during this thing while we're making everything, that'll be great. So
definitely. Well, these are just the beginning preliminary tips. And each week we'll just, get everyone ready.
And we're almost scheduled all out. I have to come up with one for the Tuesday before the turkey event. And we probably will not run. You know what I was thinking? To have the day before, we have like a question and answer,
love it.
Ask your questions. You have to, T-minus 1 day to Thanksgiving. What haven't you done? What do you need help with? Maybe
that's right.
Like that.
Yeah.
And then come back with good leftover shows the next week. But
we definitely need a gravy show or a part of a show.
Yeah, tomorrow is side dishes. So we're going to go through some different side dishes that I like to serve. And then the following week, I'm trying to remember what we have.
Uh-oh, he left. Oh, no. He might have pushed the wrong button. Okay, Chef, all I'm looking at is myself and a big knife. So I hope you'll come back soon. So anyway, I will take over a little bit here. And like I said, we'll be talking about tips for organizing the kitchen. And we have Chef back here.
That was good.
Did you push the wrong button?
I pushed the wrong button.
I knew it.
Not that it's difficult for me to do. I'm still recovering from this weekend, too. We went to Pine Island.
I saw.
Which is right near Sanibel. And we went to Sanibel, of course, and Captiva. And we also went to Naples and then worked our way along the coast on the way back. And yesterday, as we're checking out, the owner of Tarpon Lodge, where we stayed, offered to take us by boat across to their sister resort of Cabbage Key.
Wow.
That was like an hour boat ride because he took us on a nice tour of all the waterways and the different islands. And then we went to Cabbage Key and we walked around and had a great time there. And then we went in to have lunch and we ordered. Now, we weren't expecting anything at this point. We ordered this stone crab, fresh. Oh, my God, they were so good. Shrimp. For 2 people, that was quite expensive. And then the waitress said, "No, you have to try both desserts." So of course we did. And then she comes over and says, "Rob's picking this up. You don't know anything." He says, "No, I have to pay for this. You have to let me pay for it." He says, "No, I don't argue with my boss." And she just walked away. So on top of spending all this time with us, taking us out, he bought us lunch. The guy. Wow. They were so nice at this resort.
I know. I saw you. You posted things on Facebook. You're always somewhere, and it just you looked so zen. You looked really relaxed.
Great. And I just pulled up our schedule. So next week we have on Tuesday, we're going to do turkey gravy and cranberry sauce, homemade cranberry sauce. And that'll be on Tuesday, and then on Wednesday we're going to make some pies.
Nice. Thank you. Good.
So we just have to come up with something for that one little spot. All right, so let's get going with it. Let's make our stuffing because it's Thanksgiving, and I'm actually going to have some stuffing today. We're going to do some chicken, though. We're not going to do turkey.
Okay. Stuffing is the centerpiece. It is the centerpiece of the meal for me and for my family. And I'm world famous in my family for stuffing. So
I think we did that last year and you made your stuffing. You talked about your stuffing and it was fabulous.
Yeah. I put all kinds of stuff in it. Oh. Yep.
Now this is going to be basic and I want you to interject what you do too.
I will.
Anybody has any questions or if someone wants to jump in and talk about their stuffing.
Yes, I want to hear about what other people put in their stuffing, definitely.
While we're doing this, if you want to come in, but just, take a couple minutes, tell us about how you do it, and let someone else come in if they want to.
Yep.
I start my stuffing, no matter what I put in, basically the same way all the time, and that's with celery and onions. Now, all these nice little bits that I'm cutting off, if you're doing this before you roast the turkey, I want you to save all these leaves, all these ends. We're going to do an onion, and that's going to go in the pan under where you're going to roast the turkey, or inside the cavity, depending upon how you do it. So at this point, we're going to cut them, and I don't want, like any time you make something, you don't want pieces that are so big, people have a difficult time chewing. So it's not that these have to be super small, but you want them to be bite-sized. I like to see them in the stuffing for the most part, but celery needs to be at just a little more bite-sized. Now let's go back to our knife skills. Remember, I'm holding the knife.
Yes.
Tip stays down. As I'm holding my celery, my fingers are here, and then they start to curl in. They curl in, knife goes right to the edge of my knuckles, my hand there, and then I just move the knife in and slide my fingers down as need be.
I keep trying that. I haven't mastered it yet.
It's I think cutting your finger once is really the big thing.
Okay.
I don't want you to do that. So there's my celery. And again, it's a rough cut. It does not have to be perfect. It just wants to be cut. Now, the secret to any really good stuffing is butter.
Oh, yes.
Okay?
Oh,
and
yes.
This is actually probably not as much butter as I would use for this, but I didn't want to scare anybody. So this is.
You're right. I use over a stick.
Yeah.
I might use 2.
So if you want a really, really good stuffing, a really savory, rich stuffing, throw a little more butter in there.
Yes.
It's not going to hurt anything.
Yep.
So while that's melting, I'm just going to throw in my celery, and then I'm going to cut up the onion. And that's basically how we start. I mean, stuffing is pretty easy. Now, the only thing is, if you're hosting a lot of people, you're probably making like an institutional size batch of stuffing. Let me tell you what I used to do. I have a dish pan that fits in the sink that I would use to mix, and it's only for food. And right on the bottom of it, food only.
Perfect. It's rubber, or it's plastic. It's flexible. Yep.
So when you have to make large batches of something, just pull it out, and it's going to save you. I actually have a bus pan. I ended up buying some of those too because I go to Restaurant Depot, and I bought a couple bus pans this year. Same thing, and that's what we would do at work, is just get these bus pans out, put the bread in there, get all our ingredients together, dump it in, mix it together by hand, and then put it in the container we're going to bake it in.
Nazim is here. He's watching us, and I'm wondering, does he ever, want to have a Thanksgiving in Italy? Does he ever think to make stuffing? I would love to know.
Hey, Nazim, come on in if you want and say hi. And again, I'm saving all these scraps from the onion because they're going to go in my turkey pan, and this is what's going to help make you a nice, flavorful stock, your gravy. Is that juice from the turkey. And so you want your leftover onions, your leftover celery, and that's really all I'll have for this. But, some people put carrots in it. I'm not opposed to it. It just doesn't go in our stuff.
Oh, I do that. I do that. I make a turkey stock special, and I put all that stuff in it. Celery. I put parsley. I put a bay leaf, and I don't know what else, but I make a lot of it, and I'll pour that into the stuffing to moisten it. And in my house, it's called liquid gold.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Now you'll see my finger comes up here. This is not right, but I have carpal tunnel, so I can't always hold a knife like this. So I don't want you to think this is a new technique. This is just me adjusting to things over the years, and my finger will go up there. Sometimes it'll go to there. That's when I'm really tired. But hold the handle completely with your hand.
That's funny. You chop your vegetables up, quite a bit smaller than I do. I like to see a little more chunkiness in my stuffing. So either way, it doesn't matter.
No harm, no foul. Either way you want to do it. And they're just cooking away. But I have one more thing that we add to our stuffing because we both love mushrooms. So I put in some sliced mushrooms into the stuffing.
Wow, interesting. Okay, I haven't done that. Now, go ahead.
I was going to say we both really like them. And it's something I've always done, and it might be that Lisa got used to my stuffing with mushrooms, and now she expects it. And I'm just slicing these, and you'll see I'm holding it again. When I hold it, even though it's small. Like I could take this off very simply, put it down, and then it's flat. It's not going anywhere.
I think I need to try mushrooms. I think it adds a little bit of a savory texture, a softness to it. Mm-hmm.
With the seasonings we're using, mushrooms fit perfectly because it's like a forest kind of ingredient, It's so, and the sage and the savory spices you're putting in.
Now, you know what else I do when I'm doing the initial sauteing? I put in apples.
Ooh.
I put in apple because part of my stuffing is with apples. But I'm wondering, do you think I need to saute them, or can I just put them in? Because I make them into little chunks, actually little wedges.
The only reason I would saute them is because when I was sauteing them in butter, of course, I would add a little brown sugar and a little bit of cinnamon in. So my apple would impregnate with that flavor a little bit more. But again, it's all depends on what you want. I know people that put raisins in the stuffing. Lisa don't want to look at it. It's got raisins in it.
No, I don't either. I don't. But I put the apples in with the celery and the onions and the butter all together.
I would just do it that way.
Okay.
I would not change anything that you're doing. So here we just got this sauteing, and this does not have to cook a lot. It just, anytime you're using something, you want to let it cook a little bit because the flavor is really going to come from it. The sweetness is going to develop. You're going to develop, you let the sugars come out and just a better overall flavor. Pop this up a little bit and we'll get this going. And so at this point, our stuffing this is the hard part. Now, if you like meat in your stuffing, generally when I have a turkey, I'm going to take the giblets. I'm going to take the pieces inside, and I'm going to cook them down. And if I'm feeling really like I have time, I'll get the food processor out, and I will pulse them and make them tiny so that they blend in really well. No one even is going to see them.
Right.
There's going to be no objections. If I don't feel like getting the food processor down, I'm just going to chop them up by hand as best as I can.
Yeah, and you know what I use? I use, I forget the name of it. It's kind of like Jones sausage. Mm-hmm. It's that sausage, and you get in the frozen section, and it has sage in it. And I always use those. A lot of my stuffing is that sausage. I love it.
I love a good sausage stuffing too. Now, my neighbor mentioned that she makes a meat stuffing. And that's what I thought. Says, oh, you add meat to it? She says, oh, no, it's mostly all meat. There's almost no bread in it. So she puts hamburger and pork and sausage and all these different things in it. So
wow,
I want to try it. But to me, it was like stuffing a turkey with a meatloaf. I didn't want to say that out loud, but that's what I
Yeah, no, I agree with that. My stuffing, it's probably a good 30%, 25, 30% meat, I guess.
Yeah, but I think the other way.
Yeah, no.
Bread and all meat. That's like, okay.
I know.
I invited him for Thanksgiving. He says, you can bring anything you want. Bring the meat stuffing, bring some sides, because she started talking about parsnips and stuff. And I said, well, Lisa's not going to eat them. But please, feel free to bring anything you want. And Lisa turned to me and says, what happened to you? I said, it's Thanksgiving. Because she usually goes, oh, you don't bring anything, do you? Dennis always says, no, just bring yourself to dinner. Don't bring anything.
Right.
I don't care. I'll set up a buffet. Let them bring whatever they want. She's looking at me like, whoo. Handler Dennis. All right. So here, we're done. I opened up a bag, and my favorite stuffing is potato bread. And I know we had this discussion before. You like putting, I think, some rye in yours too?
No. I use corn. Let me tell you, that's a process for me. I get like artisan, like sourdough loaves, and I make cornbread. And bit by bit, I pick it all apart lovingly.
You are truly an artist.
Yes.
Me, I buy, and I had a heck of a time the first year we were here finding bread cubes because they hid them. It's not like up north where you go to where the bread is.
Right. It's
separate spot. I think I finally found them over where the instant mashed potatoes were. I forget. And I'd ask people, and they go, oh, what do you use them for? I'm going, stuffing. Oh, okay. I'm like, I wasn't a happy camper, but I finally found them, and I finally found my potato bread. You can use, of course, make your own. depending on your time, depending upon your ambition. I always tend to run out of time no matter how hard I try. So this is one little easy step for me. And I love potato bread. It adds a little bit of
yeah, potato bread is great.
Buttery sweetness to it without, making it really funky. So there's that. Now here, I'm going to put in all of my veggies that I just sauteed. And again, they're not super cooked. They're cooked enough so they're not raw, and will cook nicely in here. Let me grab a spoon. I didn't do that.
And then we have to talk about herbs. We have to talk about what kind of herbs you put in and what herbs you put in and other seasonings.
I'm a pretty basic guy. I mean, you
are really basic.
I am. There's certain things that I don't mess with and I don't take to a really imaginative level. I'll saute and I'll put almost anything in it. But when it comes to like Americana food, I'm really kind of plain and mild. I mean, I like my turkey. I may soak it this year, or I may brine it this year. I'm still toying on that idea of it. And if we do, that'll be the show for Tuesday, is brining a turkey. Maybe that's what we do.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty basic. I like poultry seasoning or sage. And I'll tend to buy poultry seasoning because it's got a little bit, of other things in it.
Right, and the paper box with the turkey on it.
Mm-hmm.
That has it all. So I definitely use that.
I do too. So I put that in, and I put a little black pepper. I'm not going to put salt in because the stock is going to have some salt.
Mm-hmm.
And now this is a soft bread. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to mix this. Before I put any liquid in, I'm going to mix this just to try and get
that looks good.
Mixed around. Now, some people will tell you you don't have to add any liquid into it, but it really is going to get kind of dry. I mean, when you use a soft bread. If you're using really crisp, like if you get those Pepperidge Farm bags and those croutons are super hard, they're going and you're going to need a little bit more liquid. So this is where you have to have an easy hand going in and watch what you put in.
Yep. But then what I find it also depends on, are you going to cover it or keep it uncovered in the oven? Because one way could add more moisture, the other way could make it a little crispy, right?
Yeah, and I still like to stuff my turkey.
Oh, I don't do that anymore. I stopped that years ago.
It depends on who's coming. If it's just for me and Lisa and I'm cooking, which I will do, just to have leftovers, I'll stuff it. But in terms of health and the chance that someone can get sick, I generally don't stuff it if I know I'm going to have people coming over.
Yeah, but how I get around that, and this is exactly how I got around that from the beginning. Once I stopped it, I made the turkey stock and I put the turkey stock in the stuffing.
Oh, yeah.
So I have that. I have that flavor without going to the trouble of stuffing it. But it's a tradition. It's a tradition.
So I put another cup in. I had 4 cups here altogether for this one bag of soft stuffing. And this is chicken stock. And I want to get it to the point where I can see it's wet.
Yeah.
I don't have to wring it out. I don't want to see any leftover real water in the bottom, which there isn't. I want it to be dry. So that's why I put it in steps. And I just used a little over 2 cups. I use 2 cups and a tad. And this is for a normal size. And this was just Martin's because that's what I love.
Oh, nice.
A 12-ounce bag of bread. So for a 14-ounce bag of bread, figure anywhere around 1 to 3 cups, depending upon what you like. So this is done. This is basically it. I mean, like I told you, I would have probably put more butter in it. Thanksgiving, I will put more butter in it, probably twice as much, 2 sticks, like you said.
Yes.
Because it's Thanksgiving. Now,
I know.
Lisa's really the only one that knows, and people say how good the stuffing is, and she won't say anything because you don't want to ruin it for people.
No. Now listen, I have a question because I'm always under pressure because I pick the bread, the little piece of bread. It takes me forever. Can I do it in advance and freeze it?
Oh my God, yeah.
Really?
Oh my God.
It won't get like frosty or
not
I don't know.
In there for for like months or weeks. You're going to do it a couple days or a week before, right?
Yeah. Plus, I have a vacuum bag thing.
Yeah, you don't even need to. Just, when we would have time at work, you get the bread out and you have people make croutons out of it, either for stuffing or for croutons, or you have people cut it into Melba chips, something that you could toast. We never throw in a restaurant. We never throw bread, not bread that's been used by customers, but bread that has not been served. I don't want to go down that path, but there might be some places that do that, but we don't do it. So we had a question here too, I saw, and that I can't see the name. That nerd Mike asks, is this a regular scheduled blab? Yes, it is. Every Tuesday and Wednesday at 12 p.m. Eastern time, we do cooking shows. And then P. George is saying, hi, Chef Dennis and Susan. A little late, just got a new refrigerator stall. Ooh, what kind?
Oh, nice. What did you get?
Hey, and if anyone wants to jump in, please, we have a seat open. Come in and, like I said, just be respectful of our time and what we're doing. And we would love to have you jump in and talk.
Sure. Well, I have a few tips for organizing the kitchen.
Well, let's do it. All I'm going to do now is, I want a really big one. I'm going to make this in two small ones because I have two small. But this is just for me and Lisa because we're going to be eating. So this is two separate ones, and I don't have to bake them both at one time. I can bake them both separately. And when you're talking about uncovering or covering, I like to start all my stuffings covered.
Yeah, I usually do that too.
And that's simply because it's going to keep it a little moisture. You want it to cook. You want it to be in there. And then I'll take it off for the last few minutes if I want to get a little French coat to it.
I also take a look at it, especially if sometimes I put them in Pyrex dishes so I can see through it. Yes. If maybe I put a little bit too much liquid in it and, you can see it bubbling, and then I say, okay, take off the, aluminum foil. And
you can always take it off. You could go back and do something afterwards. It's just too much trouble. So like adding liquid in a little at a time. In the oven, start it covered, uncover it towards the end. And I also want to tell people that are gluten-free. I've made these before, gluten-free. Trader Joe's has this mix. And it's actually pretty good.
Wow. Oh, that's great.
So that was good. And then for those of you that are wondering about stock, I use stock from RC Foods that I get on Amazon. Okay. And this is actually a kosher and gluten-free chicken base. They have a regular one as well, but that one just happens to be both.
I'm writing that down.
And and I order it by the pound off of Amazon, and it just makes my life easier.
Well, that looks terrific. That stuffing looks great. You made a lot there. You made quite a bit. Are you going to freeze any of it?
Probably not. I will probably cook one for dinner tonight, and then I'll make another one maybe in 2 days, and either we'll use it for sandwiches or as a side dish.
You can even just put pieces of chicken or rotisserie chicken and mix it in there for a great meal, right?
Yeah, make a nice gravy. You can make kind of I don't want to call it a pot pie, but you could put your more vegetables in here and bake it and make kind of a stuffing kind of pie out of it. It would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
You don't need to eat as much meat as we all eat. I would even go as far as taking this, and I'm thinking now, roasting some potatoes, roasting some carrots, roasting some turnips, roasting some other ones, blend this all together and bake it in a little bit of pie. Or even take this and mix some eggs and make it like a strata.
Oh, great idea. Great idea.
Steak pan. Layer this in there with your other vegetables. And a strata is really a quiche with bread in it, if you're wondering. And just pour eggs over it. And then when you take it out of the cheesecake pan, you can unmold it and it'll look really pretty too.
I just got a crazy idea. I don't know if it's good, bad, or not. Sometimes I come up with these things. How about putting it in some kind of bread, adding cooked bacon on it, and making a panini?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, right?
I was thinking of that too. You could kind of form it into something and probably... It's just with this much liquid, you'd have to put some egg in it before you bake it so it would hold together a little bit. Maybe whip an egg into it.
Well, that looks great. And I have a few tips to talk about getting organized. And for those of you who may be new or who are not aware, I am a kitchen designer by profession, and I've had my own kitchen design studio for many, many years. So that's where I come in from on our weekly talks. And you know what? When we're getting close to the holidays, which can be very stressful, I've said this before, and I'm going to say it again. Take a look at your counters. See what's on your counters. What is a little bit too, what are things you don't use? Do a survey of all of your counters. Chef, do you hear that little grating noise now and then? Is that, I hear a little kind of grating noise now and then. I don't know if that's coming from me or not. Now I don't hear it.
I don't hear it.
Okay. All right, good. So you want to take a look at your counters. You want to clean them off. You want to, do a new analysis of everything and move some things around. You want to, it's a good time to take a survey and organize your servingware. So at the last minute, you don't realize, oh, I need more serving spoons. I don't have enough bowls. Just kind of, take some time, take an hour on a Saturday morning and maybe put them all nearby, so that's done. That's done. Take a look at your wine glasses. How many of them have broken since the summer when you were entertaining out on the deck or something? I've ordered before an event, I ordered a whole bunch of wine glasses at a very reasonable price on Amazon. So sometimes I have a running list on Amazon, in the wish list of things that I need, and then I'll do a big order. Take a look at your linens. Think about specialty equipment you may need, like a roaster. Now, in my family, the men in my family may take my roaster pan. That is a wonderful roaster pan. And what do they use it for, Chef? They use it for changing their oil.
Oh, no. No, they don't.
Yes.
Oh, that's wrong.
So if you have men like I do in the house, make sure you have your roasting pan.
Oh.
And be prepared for I don't know what happened to it, and then you find it in the garage. So, do you have the bulb baster? Do you have the fat separator, which I use all the time? Do you have enough dish towels, some nice dish towels? You want to use the nice dish towels for Thanksgiving Day, so take a look at that. The oven mitts. And I'll tell you something else. This is a good tip. There are so many Thanksgiving checklists that you can find online that can make you super organized. You don't have to get crazy. I'll tell you, some of them start 6 weeks out. I don't know about that, but there's some really good Thanksgiving checklists online that I found. And, do you have enough portable chairs, portable tables? How will your tables be reconfigured? Take a look at your space and your surrounding rooms with really a fresh look. Maybe you can get by with a few smaller tables and it'll even look like a restaurant. Or, see what new ways may be better to configure your space to handle, adequate people. And good interior design is flexible. Rethink how your rooms can be reconfigured, and you'll be surprised what you come up with. And I guarantee you'll fall in love with your home all over again if you just kind of see where the flexibility lies. And so those are my preliminary tips.
That's great. And it's good advice. And, people really don't start scrambling, just like shopping. Don't wait till Tuesday to go buy your turkey or go buy your pumpkin for your pie or everything else. Pete George is saying that he couldn't tell a little bird could retreat mine. Now, what I did see was they were trying to add a picture on. Looks like there's a new feature that when I put the tweet, the little box of everything showed up too. And that might have been too heavy. So I X'd that out and I tweeted it. So try that. Try Xing the picture out and then tweeting it. And that it might just be too big with all that on it. But yeah, you need to think about this ahead of time. It's like that old joke where, Christmas crept up on me. Yeah, what day is it this year? Or at least Thanksgiving does change time to time of the week. So you got an excuse. But
I know. I'm going to do a few things. I'm going to take my own advice this weekend and just kind of survey, especially the entertaining things that all of a sudden you have to put the wine glasses out and, there are fewer of them than there were over the summer or something. So.
Well, that's it, and I will post this. There's not a lot hot plot to it, but I will post this with some pictures, as well as some of my other ones on my travels. And did you see the picture I posted from the restaurant where the room was covered in dollar bills?
I must have missed that one. I've seen like every one. I don't remember that one.
And look, as they had in their dining room, and we got the history. I mean, the walls, the ceiling, every space that wasn't glass was taped with a dollar bill with a name on it. And I did leave a picture of me putting one up too. And it all goes to charity. As it falls down, they save it. They don't put it back up, and they don't ever take it all down. But as it goes, and they said it's $10,000 to $12,000 a year of what falls down goes to.
Wow, that is. Did you put that on Facebook too?
I did put a picture of the.
I probably just went through my feed. I didn't see it. I have to look for it.
It started with the fishermen who would tape $1 to the ceiling every now and then with their name on it. And when they had a bad day and they didn't catch anything, they'd go and pull it down, and then you could buy lunch for $1, and they'd at least be able to eat that day.
What a great idea!
That's how it started.
Great idea. That's funny. I mean, I'll take people pasting dollar bills in my house anytime.
Yeah. I was looking at it going, what the heck is going on here? But it was a really cool trip, and we had a great time out exploring Florida even more.
That's great. Yeah, I have some family, and I think it's Coral Gables.
Yeah, we were right there.
Yep.
We were right there.
Yep. Very nice area.
In 2 weeks, we're going to Citrus County, and that's going to be a little bit more elaborate in terms of they're taking me a lot of places. It's really a travel one. But we've been having, that'll be right before Thanksgiving, so I'll be back after that to do our 2 shows for the turkey. So I'll be a little worse from wear, but I'll be ready for that.
Yeah.
But, Thanksgiving shouldn't be stressful. Try and remember that. It always is, because you want everything to be perfect. But something like your stuffing, you can make the day before. If you have refrigerator space, think about what you're, and just like Susan's saying, don't get your glasses out, get your wear out. Well, make your stuffing the day before. It can sit.
Yeah, I've always done it the day before because it's such a process. I always do it the day before.
Yeah, anything like that. Yeah, cutting your vegetables. Start thinking about that. What you're going to have. Peel your potatoes. Put them in water and just let them sit in water so they don't turn brown. You can, if you're having carrots, same thing. You can peel your carrots and let them sit in water so they don't turn brown. Anything you can do. You can chop your onions and your celery, put them in a Ziploc bag, put them in there. And something like that you can do 2 days ahead of time.
That's true. And get the kids to mix the stuffing together in the big bin.
Just make sure they wash their little hands.
That's right. Yeah.
Because the gloves are going to slide off. We always use gloves, but when you get into stuffing, sometimes my favorite thing is like I'll pull my hand out and the glove's gone. Stuck in there. So, bite the bullet. Just wash your hands really, really good.
Oh, the kitchen gets to be a disaster. One way, even the best laid plans, but it's a good disaster.
It is. And someone just asked if I know Moroccan food, and that is one cuisine I really don't know too well. I've enjoyed some Moroccan food, but I don't know how to cook it. The spicing is just really delicate. So, but yeah, it's going to be a fun time, a happy time. Let's make Thanksgiving a happy time. And if you have questions, please leave them in the comments section, or send us a message. We're on Twitter. You can DM either of us on there on Twitter and ask us or tell us what you'd like to see. As we go crafting these shows, up through especially with Christmas coming up. If you got anything special for the winter holidays, anything that would go well for that, let us know too, because we'll be planning those shows in advance for a while. So we're having a great time. You still loving Blab, Susan?
I love it. I did yesterday. I did a blab with someone, a representative from Benjamin Moore, on the color of the year for 2016, which just came out. Believe it or not, it's Simply White is the name of the color. So we had a great discussion on how the color of the year came about with Benjamin Moore. Great discussion.
White is Simply White.
It's a warm white.
Warm white? Okay.
Yeah, I mean, every year it's like a color. So a lot of designers are up in arms. Design professionals are up in arms. Me, I'm all about white anyway. So I think it reflects what's happening in interior design right now for different reasons and different demographic reasons, which you talked about. But I love it. Love Glad.
Well, I feel so boring sometimes when I go to paint, but I love white too. You know, I look at people with houses with these red walls and these bright, and I go, wow, and I try to paint it, and I end up painting over it because it just doesn't feel right for me. I love it looking at other people's homes, but for me, it just doesn't.
No, I love white. In fact, look over my shoulder. When you do white, you can really make your artwork, pop. And there are some rules to it. There are some, it's always best to get a professional advice. And if you can consult with a professional rather than be indebted to them forever, consult for a couple of hours, you will get professional advice.
We used to have this guy come out to the house, and he talked like the Lion King. Oh my God, he was dressed to the nines, 3-piece suit, and he'd come out. And if you would like to pick a safe color, and he'd give us choices. He goes, but if you want people to come over and go, I would have never thought of that.
You do a good imitation.
Oh my God, we just loved to listen to him talk, but we would go with a lot of times Lisa was like the safe color, and I want people coming in going, I would have never thought of that.
Well, I used to say, if you feel nervous and you have anxiety, that means you may just be out of your comfort zone, which is a good thing.
Yeah. Every now and then.
Yeah.
But that being said, there's nothing wrong with white.
Just like cooking. Like cooking.
You got it. Well, that's it for today. Thank you so much for coming, Susan. Always a pleasure. And tomorrow we will be here with, and I forgot already,
yeah, what are we doing?
Side dishes. With delicious side dishes to help.
Side dishes, yay. Okay.
We'll see you then. All right.
Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.